The new best BloxStrike settings. All the settings have been added now, so I've tested everything to see which settings are the best for performance and the best for the best looking game. So let's start with video. I tested these settings on my mom's laptop. After a lot of benchmarking, I came to the conclusion that global shadows gives around an 8 to 18% increase to FPS when disabled, on 2 and on 10 graphics. These shadows will not show on players, which gives it no advantage. It will only look your game look a lot nicer. Glass shatter, first person tracers and muzzle flash all matter less than 1 to 2% of the FPS. But ragdolls can lag a bit more when there's a lot of people on the server. So I recommend for the best FPS disable every video setting, as they give no real competitive advantage. For the best looking game, I'd have everything enabled except first person tracers. I compared 2 graphics to 10 graphics and it had an average of 60% less FPS on 10 graphics. So if you want the most FPS, I recommend playing on 2 graphics. But 10 graphics will look your game look a lot nicer again. Audio. These are just sliders for every bit of volume in the game. I recommend having only main menu volume and MVP volume enabled, as the others can be annoying while playing the game. Master volume I always have on 100. If I want to change my volume, I change my Roblox volume, as it's way quicker to do. I also disabled the main menu ambience volume, as I'm usually listening to music while playing, and I don't want to hear BloxStrike through my music. Game. There are a lot of settings here, so be prepared. Auto resume sniper rifle. This setting is by default enabled. If you disable it, you won't resume after shooting with the AWP. But I like the auto resuming, so I kept it enabled. Detach silencer. I like the silencer, as without them the gun just sounds weird. If you don't want a silencer, you can just use the P2K or the M4A4 instead of the A1 and USB. So I'd have this disabled. Always show inventory. This setting is really nice, because you can always see what utility you have and if you have a defuse kit. Otherwise you have to switch guns to see, which can be quite annoying, especially in a clutch. Auto pickup drop weapon. I've been fighting with this setting a lot. I've been turning it on and off a few times, but ultimately I kept it enabled. It can be annoying when shooting someone with a deagle and randomly picking up a gun, but it could also come in handy, as you don't have to look down to pick up a gun anymore. HUD scale. This is how big your HUD will be. On 2 it's really big and on 0.5 it's really small. I found the best balance to be 1.1, which you don't have to fully look away to see your HP or items. Color. This is just the color of your HUD. I showed them all in the last video. My preference is yellow, but you can try whichever you like. Glow weapon with rarity color. This will make your weapons and your items white and glow the rarity color. I have this disabled as I like them being yellow, and I don't quite have a skin for each weapon yet, so most of them will be white. Maybe if I have a lot of skins I will change the setting, but for now it's disabled. Enable game instructor messages. These can be nice if you're new to the game. They will show you how and where to plant, but I've played the game enough to have them disabled. Crosshairs. For every crosshair I have the crosshair style on classic static. With no crosshair image, follow recoil, center dot or T-style. So I'm going to show you 3 nice crosshairs that I'm using, so you can decide which one you like the most. For a small crosshair I put the length and thickness on 1 with the gap on -4. I used no outline with this crosshair, and this is the crosshair I'm currently using and will be using in the near future. For a little bit of a bigger crosshair, you can keep the length and thickness on 1, but put the gap on -2.5. The outline enabled on 1, and this is an OG crosshair used a lot in the back of the day of CB. For a long crosshair you can put the length on 3, keep the thickness on 1 and put the gap on -2. With no outline, this will recreate the OG default CB crosshair. Viewmodels. The Viewmodel can really change how the game feels, so I'm going to show 3 Viewmodels and you can pick whichever you like the best. For the first Viewmodel you have to put the X offset on 2.9, the Y offset on -0.8 and the Z offset on -1.4. This will make a Viewmodel that looks really a lot like the CS2 Viewmodel. I like this one, I'm using this one. The next Viewmodel has an X offset of 9.4, a Y offset of -4.5 and a Z offset of -4. This will make the game feel like it has a high FOV and make the gameplay feel a lot faster. And the last view model is a left-handed view model with the X offset on -25 and a Y and Z offset of -4. This will put the gun most to the left as possible, as the game doesn't have a left hand option just yet. Only the knife and the specs will look a little bit weird, but if you want to use a left-handed view model, this is the only option. Radar and tablet. Radar is rotating. This will make your radar rotate when enabled, and when disabled it will lock in place. I have this disabled as I know the maps and I like it being a consistent image at all times. Radar HUD size. This will change how big your radar is on your HUD. On 0.5 it will be really small, and on 2 it will be huge. The size I like is 1.6. as it won't obstruct my gameplay, but it's big enough I don't have to break my neck every time I want to look at my radar. Radar map zoom. This is the zoom inside the radar. On 0.1 it will be really zoomed in, and on 1 it would be really zoomed out. I change between 1 and 0.8 depending on how I'm feeling, as they both offer great visibility, so I know where the enemies are at all times. Other. Show ping and show FPS will show your FPS and ping on the top right. I have both of these disabled as I'm basically always hitting good FPS numbers, and ping is also visible on the scoreboard. And if I want to look at my FPS, I press Shift F5, which pops up an FPS menu on the top left. Keybinds. Most of these will be personal preference, but I'm gonna talk about a few. Mouse sensitivity I always have on 1. If I want to change my sensitivity, I will change it in my Roblox settings, as that's global to all games. Zoom sensitivity multiplier. This changes your sense only while scoped in. Could be useful if you're playing a slow sense. I don't really like it. Default is 1, so every sensitivity is the same, so I use 1. Walk mode. This will change if you need to hold or toggle to shift walk. I always have this on hold as I'm used to it more. It's like that in a lot of games like Minecraft. Below here are the movement keys. All of them will be personal preference. Only one that most people change is the jump keybind. A lot of people bind jump to scroll wheel down or up, as bunny hopping in this game with scroll wheel is fairly easy. If you do this, don't forget to unbind cycle weapons left and cycle weapons right. Other settings. Those are all the settings inside BloxStrike and Roblox, but there are still a few more ways to increase FPS. Another way to increase your FPS in Roblox is by playing in stretch mode. You can do this by right clicking your desktop and clicking on display resolution. Scroll down to display resolution and put it on any resolution of your liking. If you like playing native 16:9 but you're not quite achieving your FPS, you can play on 1280x720. This will make the screen smaller so there's less to load, but keep the original resolution. But if you want to play 4:3, I recommend playing 1280x960, as all the pros play this in CB, CS and BloxStrike. And if this gives you black borders, you can fix this with AMD by going to your AMD software. Click on the gear on the top right, go to display and change the scaling mode to full panel. Now you have a stretched resolution. If you have NVIDIA, I will let Radias explain it for you.
If you have this problem and you have a NVIDIA graphics card, you can right click on your screen and open the NVIDIA control panel. After opening the NVIDIA control panel, you go down to display, adjust desktop size and position, and click full screen and apply changes.
That's all for today. If there are any questions, leave a comment down below. Later.